Well, I'm Wendy. My son Jay was born in 1998 with spina bifida, but no hydrocephalus. Um, Growing up was quite easy going to the children's hospital. All our clinics were all in one. It was more like a family sort of setting. Like everybody used to meet everybody, all the families, so you got to meet all the other children. Jay was probably the oldest out of all the kids that was there. Um, so it was really good. Like Mr. Driver kept Jay on till he was 18 and just said that the transition wouldn't be as good or as easy. And no, it hasn't been. It's been, in fact, terrible. Um, like the children's hospital, you've got your appointments through every 6 months or every year. But once you go to the adults hospital, there's no clinic, there's nothing. Only if there's something wrong do you get seen. We've had one appointment at neuro since Jay left pediatrics, and it wasn't a very good experience at all. In fact, when we were in, Jay had to repeat his whole medical story, and he gets fed up, so he gets easily annoyed of having to repeat everything all over again. And when Jay's got a tether cord, but it's never ever bothered him. So when the doctor had his MRI up on the screen, he was like, "Oh, Jay has spina bifida." And I says, "Yeah," and he's like, wasn't even Jay's MRI. It was a completely different patient. So it's like they don't know yet as well as what. And he just kept sort of said, "Well, if anything gets worse, just come back." And that's really all our experiences. And Jay just says that because he can't understand, like, if his appointment's at 2:00, why am I not seen at 2:00? Like, doesn't understand the waiting, or maybe having to go to one part of the hospital and to another part of the hospital. He finds that very, very hard. But no, it's not a good transition at all. So he does miss the children's hospital. Maybe some people might find it easier. I don't know. But Jay certainly hasn't had a good transition. The children's hospital know them since they're born, so you don't have to go in and explain everything, and everybody knows everybody, and then I think growing up in the children's hospital, it's just easy, but once they get to there's like no handover from pediatrics, obviously, to adult services. And I know it's hard, and I know they see lots of different people, but I think there maybe should be a young adult, like from children or pediatrics, maybe then a young adult, and then into adult services. Maybe something like an in-between bit. I don't think there should be a cut-off date. I don't think it should be, okay, you're 16 or you're 18, that's it. It should go on how can I say? Because not all children, one 16-year-old is not the same as the next 16-year-old, and they maybe still need to have more time. Yeah, the age thing needs to change. Don't just say at 16, hello to the big bad world, because it doesn't work. I think they need to look at maybe at some kind of clinic. They maybe eventually they'll want to go to appointments on their own because they won't want their mum or whatever, but they need to talk in language that they'll understand. what I find very hard is once they reach 16, you can no longer, like phoning up for a blood test or something. We're like, well, we can't tell you, because they're 16 and now as an adult. So that's another thing that's really hard.